I was only 12 years old the night I thought I was going to die, out in the middle of the pitch-black New Mexico desert. Suddenly paralyzed and surrounded by shattered glass, I remember counting each breath, wondering if it was going to be my last. Fighting for my life that night, I had no idea that my nightmare had only just begun, as the events of that horrific night would come back over 15 years later to nearly destroy my life, my marriage, my career, and my hopes for starting a family. And I still get goosebumps when I think about what I'm going to tell you next, because these dramatic events led me to the most unexpected miracle when I stumbled onto this one surprising stretch that completely wiped out my back pain, just in time to save myself from dangerous, expensive, and potentially life-threatening surgery. This unlikely stretch not only eliminated my back pain, sciatica, and stiffness, it was only the start of the 10-minute routine that put an end to my lifetime struggle with weight gain, depression, anxiety, insomnia, and acid reflux. And even more surprisingly, this simple little routine also ended up toning my stomach, hips, and thighs more quickly than the most grueling gym workouts. I never would have imagined that one 10-minute routine would save my body from years of pain and completely change my life. Hi, I'm Emily, and I want you to know that if you have ever felt trapped in your body by pain, stiffness, or low energy, it's not your fault, and you do not deserve to live like this. But it can happen to absolutely anyone. You see, I worked for over a decade as a top fitness expert, teaching everything from yoga and Pilates to personal training and group fitness at the most prestigious gyms and studios all across the country. I was armed with the highest certifications and trainings in the fitness industry. I was in the best shape of my life, and I thought my body was indestructible. But even with all that expertise, I had no idea that I was walking around every day with a hidden fault line buried in my body that would unexpectedly erupt and send me to my knees with excruciating pain and stop my entire life dead in its tracks. If you've ever been in severe pain, I know I don't have to tell you how it can knock you to the ground and render you completely helpless. And if you suffer occasional aches or stiffness, you must know your body is at serious risk. So pay close attention, because I'm about to show you the one surprising thing you are unknowingly doing every single day that is sabotaging your body and penetrating you with hidden fault lines. If I had known this information sooner, it would have saved me from years of physical hell that brought me to the brink of almost losing everything I ever cared about. I was so desperate to get my life back that I wasted thousands of dollars and countless hours trying every kind of treatment out there: chiropractic, physical therapy, massage. I even tried acupuncture, but nothing came close to making me feel normal again. I figured my case was hopeless, and I was really scared about my future because I bought into the healthcare lie. The lie that most people believe, which is that our bodies are just doomed to get worse as we age. However, now I am living proof that with this new information you're about to learn right here in this video, it is possible to not only bounce back from pain, you can feel better than you ever have. And I know this sounds radical because I never would have imagined that I could ever feel so strong, flexible, and full of energy again after barely surviving that near-fatal moment that wrecked my body beyond belief. All starting with this surprising stretch that relieved my back pain and stiffness naturally, without any injections or surgery, much to the amazement of the medical team that had been racking their brains to try to help me. If it weren't for this unlikely stretch, I would still be barely able to move, let alone keep up with my two sweet but slightly rambunctious young boys. It doesn't matter how old you are or what kind of shape you're in. Ever since I discovered the secret to natural back pain relief, I've spent years helping people of all ages fix their hidden fault lines and overcome pain, weakness, anxiety, depression, and weight gain, all starting with this surprising stretch that gets you your life back. And over the years, I have been baffled by one curious discovery. This same routine that saved my body all those years ago, back when I was in my 20s, works even better for people over the age of 40. You can understand why people rave to their friends about discovering the key to keeping their bodies young. Hear it for yourself.
Hi, my name is Mary, and I am a fabulous 64 years old. And I say that because I truly am joyful that I am 64 and still able to move my body. I have always been a person who was fairly active, and as I got older, I noticed that my scoliosis was starting to impede my ability to do things. I became injured at one point and barely could even walk. I had 3 months of physical therapy. I went to the chiropractor numerous times. I was so frustrated. None of it was working. I actually thought I was losing my mind. I read a newspaper article about Emily and her new program, and I thought, I need to try this. I can honestly say it has changed my life. I don't take ibuprofen every day. I'm physically active. I can bend over and touch my toes, and I can play with my grandbabies at will. And to me, that's everything.
Now you can understand why I know that pain is not an inevitable part of aging, and it never has to be part of your life again, ever. Like many of my clients, you may be literally moved to tears at how fantastic you suddenly feel in your body again, or perhaps for the first time in your life. If you've been struggling with pain and stiffness for a while, you might have blamed yourself or wondered, what am I doing wrong? That's certainly what I did. But believe me when I say that what I'm about to tell you next will release you from the guilt for good. Despite the billions of dollars spent on doctor and hospital visits and prescription meds, 80% of Americans still suffer from backaches or chronic pain. That's because most medical treatments don't stop the hidden cause of your pain, those internal fault lines that silently destroy your health and leave you vulnerable to injury, premature disc and joint degeneration, and crippling back pain. These fault lines are undetectable at first, silently growing deeper and deeper, and they can be triggered to erupt at the least expected moment while reaching for something in your car or just getting up off the couch. Any seemingly harmless activity can trigger the fault lines that are waiting to erupt without any warning. So pay close attention because you're about to learn the one surprising thing you're doing unknowingly every day that puts you at risk and what you can do about it. And I have to warn you, you might be a little shocked once you learn how easily you can erase the damage and save yourself from years of debilitating pain and chronic health issues like weight gain, anxiety, and fatigue, all on your own without doctors or medications. If you've already wasted time and money trying to fix your back and your body, you're probably as frustrated as I was to keep spinning your wheels and getting nowhere. So be sure not to miss this, because I'm also going to reveal the 3 most common mistakes that everyone makes when they're trying to end their back pain. These 3 catastrophic mistakes are so destructive to your back, you must stop doing them immediately in order to save yourself from years of agony and thousands of dollars of wasted medical bills. The surprising tips you're about to learn might be the most important few minutes of your life. That's right. You're about to discover how you can take your health back into your own hands and end your back pain naturally, right where you're sitting. You can imagine what it will feel like to spring out of bed and catch yourself smiling in the bathroom mirror every morning, pain-free and ready to get back to living life on your own terms. You don't need to waste hours at the gym with joint-crushing routines or in doctor's offices week after week. And you don't have to be hooked on toxic pain pills that kill your kidneys. The drug companies have been feeding off of your pain for far too long, putting you at more risk by numbing you up so you don't realize that the fault lines in your body are only getting worse, leading you closer and closer to the operating table. So stay with me, because you'll want to get started with the same unusual routine right where you are sitting to begin naturally fixing your back pain for good, while also toning your stomach, hips, and thighs without even breaking a sweat. And I know you'll be as blown away as my clients were. to learn about the one unlikely stretch that can quickly stop sciatica without painful and expensive surgery. Here's what a few of them have to say.
Hi, my name is Karen. I'm 56 years old. I was having sciatic problems and I had gone to a chiropractor for about 3 months and I was getting no results. So he told me that I would need to maybe do physical therapy. I didn't really want to do that. So I looked for something alternative and I wanted to do something that was healthy and good for my body. So I went online and I found Emily's program and it's amazing. I feel so good. My body feels good. She knows exactly what to do to make the pain go away. Ever since I've done this, have felt healthier, more fit, and it's been amazing.
Hi, I'm Bob. I ran into this really difficult situation with this really terrible pain down the back of my leg. I found out later it was called sciatic pain. It was difficult for me to kind of get out of a chair and kind of walk down the hall. My wife introduced me to Emily's technique because I really needed to get rid of this pain. I was doing a hike with my son. We had planned to do it, and I knew I had to totally get rid of this pain. So my wife showed me how to do Emily's technique. I started doing it, and after a few sessions, I became like totally pain-free, and I've been pain-free for over a year.
You can begin to imagine what it will feel like to move with ease and energy again, without the pain and stiffness that's been holding you back. What old hobbies will you dive back into? Where will you travel? Or ladies, perhaps you'll just enjoy being able to paint your own toenails again. Results like these are why I have dedicated my entire life to helping people discover the secret to living pain-free in the body you love. And in order to stay true to this unusual but powerful method, I had to take a huge risk and leave the safety and security of my prestigious fitness jobs at the high-end gyms. You see, while this simple, soothing routine is great for you, it's not so great for the big business fitness chains. That's because it doesn't require a ton of time or fancy equipment. You can do it almost anywhere, even right in your chair. So there's no way the gyms can charge their crazy high membership prices and training fees for something you can do on your own in just minutes. After almost losing my life at a very young age, I realized that life is too short to waste on putting money before people. So I took the risk and walked away from the fitness industry money machine. And I started teaching this routine to groups of people in my local church basement. As soon as they began to experience the life-changing results from my method, word spread through the town like wildfire. People of all walks of life and all ages flooded the room week after week, month after month, bringing with them their friends, family members, even strangers on the street. Before I knew it, I was even featured on the news. And the word spread further as my clients bragged to their friends and loved ones all across the country, especially my students who are over the age of 40 and feeling younger than ever. People from other states who I've never even met started asking for my help. But as a busy working mom of two, I haven't always had the resources to meet the requests for help as fast as I would like. You see, getting information like this out to the masses costs a lot more money than you would think. However, recently something absolutely amazing happened. My program was discovered by a top player in the fitness industry who actually shares my passion for changing lives. One of the good guys. Once he experienced the incredible results for himself, he said, "Emily, we have to get this information out to more people ASAP." Thanks to his generosity and belief in my method, I've been given this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to reach as many of you as possible through this free online video. And I don't take a moment of this lightly, so let's get right to discovering the secret to having a healthy, pain-free back. You won't find this information anywhere else. And if you've been living in pain for a while, you're probably as desperate for relief as I once was. So I don't want you to have to wait another minute before trying this groundbreaking method for yourself. I know what it's like to just need some hope. So if you want to skip ahead and get right to the full program, I'm going to give you the opportunity to try the full, step-by-step, back-to-life system for 60 days, completely risk-free. And today, through this video only, I'm also going to include 2 special bonus gifts for natural, immediate pain relief, absolutely free. There is nothing else out there like this. And it's important to me that you can try it for yourself, so I'm willing to take on all the risk. Click below and you can begin to break free from pain this very minute, right where you're sitting, or come back to it anytime you want. And if you're not satisfied for any reason, even if you don't like the color of my shirt, just shoot me an email and I will personally make sure that you are refunded every penny. I mean, really, I wish all of my chiropractors and physical therapists had given me that same guarantee. But if you want to learn more about how to naturally erase your back pain on your own, I don't blame you. The new information in this free video presentation is critical to your health. So please pay close attention because I'm about to warn you about the one thing you are unknowingly doing every day that is silently digging fault lines in your body. And you won't want to miss what I have to tell you about the 3 common mistakes you are doing to try to help your pain that are actually making it worse. Avoiding these 3 mistakes will save you from years of pain, frustration, and wasted money. If you're watching this, I know how motivated you are to put an end to your pain and start living your life to the fullest again. And I also know what it's like to be in pain, desperate for help, and not able to get it fast enough. All these years later, I can still remember the feeling of the impact, like shock waves buried deep in my bones, as we were blinded by headlights and the front grille of the truck T-boned us. Only 12 years old, that's the last thing I remember before I was knocked unconscious. When I finally came to, inside the dark, crumpled car, I could barely open my eyes against the blood pouring down my face. The little girl in the front seat, who I had just been babysitting not 10 minutes earlier, was screaming for her mother to wake up. But the woman's mangled body was twisted around in the driver's seat, her lifeless face turned back toward me. I tried to pry the car door open and run for help, but I couldn't get my legs to move. I was trapped inside my broken, battered body, and I knew my time was running out. Confused and terrified, I started to panic. Help finally arrived, and the doctors in the ER trauma wing worked feverishly on all 3 of us through the night. Much to everyone's disbelief, we all survived that near-fatal crash. However, the accident itself was only the beginning of my nightmare. Months of rehabilitation passed, and when I was finally released from care, my body still felt fragile, achy, and tender. Eventually, the scars on my skin started to heal, but the pain and stiffness in my back, hips, and knees only got worse. By the time I started high school, I dreaded having to wear my heavy backpack every morning, and I hardly slept at night either, tossing and turning, feeling sore and stiff no matter what position I slept in. My friends were going out and having more fun than ever, and it was hard for me to even keep up. And I'll tell you something, that's still painful for me to talk about. On the night of my junior prom, I was so sore and tired that I spent the entire night sitting on the sidelines, watching my prom date out on the dance floor with another girl. I hated my body for ruining my life. That's when I just decided to give up. While the rest of my friends were out at football games and parties, I chose to stay home and lay on the couch at night, nursing my aching back and eating away the boredom and loneliness. It wasn't long before I started to gain weight, and my confidence plummeted even more. By the end of high school, I was 30 pounds overweight and dreading college. I was embarrassed about myself and desperate to lose weight, so I decided to try exercising, despite my back pain. Ashamed to show my face in the gym at first, I would only go at 5 a.m., when everyone else was still asleep. It was miserable. I started walking on the treadmill, very slowly at first, afraid that my pain might get worse. However, I was amazed to realize that the more I moved my body, the more my pain started to ease up. For the first time in years, I was able to sit through class without squirming in my seat, and I even started to go out to college parties with my classmates. I exercised more and more and absolutely fell in love with fitness for how it was bringing my body and my life back every day. Completely unaware of the dangerous fault lines I was still carrying with me deep down below the surface, I truly thought I had discovered the key to lifelong pain-free health and fitness. I graduated college and I kept studying, racking up professional trainings and certifications in everything from yoga and Pilates to personal training and group exercise. By the age of 24, I was hired to teach at one of Chicago's most elite fitness clubs, and I quickly developed a reputation. I was known as the tough trainer who could make you feel the burn like no other. Soon, my reputation spread, and I found myself filling requests to teach in gyms and studios all across the country. I couldn't believe this was my life, such a far cry from my sad, lonely, and painful teenage years. I thought I had finally made it, with a career I loved, newly married to the man of my dreams, and excited beyond belief to start a family. However, I had no idea that in one moment, this was all about to end, when devastation struck, and I suddenly found myself back on the surgeon's table and scared of losing the life I had always dreamed of for the second time before the age of 30. And this time was even more shocking than the first. Because even though I thought I was in the best shape of my life, my body was still full of dangerous fault lines on the inside, deep down, completely hidden below the surface. While I had survived that near-fatal car accident many years earlier, I had no idea that my body had been under attack every single day by something even scarier. In fact, most people don't realize that we are all under attack, every single one of us, every single day. And the shocking part is that it doesn't matter if you're a world-class athlete or a comfy couch potato, your body is still at risk, and it's not your fault. You're not doing anything wrong. That's because this silent enemy that attacks your body on a daily basis is completely unavoidable. It's known as repetitive trauma. It affects absolutely everyone, and most people have never even heard of it. It is more common than car accidents, sports injuries, or even slips and falls, and the damage can be even more devastating, burrowing hidden fault lines in your body that can erupt when it's least expected, knocking you to the ground with pain and bringing your life to a crashing stop. If you've ever blamed yourself for your condition or wondered what you did wrong, it's time for you to stop beating yourself up right now. Please listen when I say there is no way you could have ever avoided the stress that repetitive trauma has been putting on your body. That's because repetitive trauma comes from living your everyday modern life. The unavoidable advances in technology are battering your body. So everything you do, from driving your car, working at a computer, even texting on your phone, is pulling your body out of whack and doing internal damage almost every minute of every day. So even if you've made the best efforts to keep your body in great shape, it's still under attack from repetitive trauma that causes a dangerous health condition called crossed syndrome. Crossed syndrome creates fault lines, or areas of vulnerability, from muscular imbalances and postural distortions that pull your pelvis and spine out of their natural healthy alignment. Without stable alignment, your discs are beyond vulnerable. Your nerves are pinched, your joints are battered, and your entire body is under constant stress. That's why you can do something as simple as grabbing a dish out of the dishwasher and suddenly feel your back go out on you. The damage from repetitive trauma and crossed syndrome had been building for years. You just never know when it will strike. However, there is hope. Your body wants to return to its natural alignment. It just doesn't know how to on its own. Think of your body as a self-repairing machine. And once you know the unusual routine to power the on switch, you will be amazed at how quickly it begins to erase the damage and return to balance. And this can all be done in just minutes a day without pricey trainers or time-sucking doctor's appointments. You don't deserve to live in fear of picking up your own kids or grandkids, or even getting up to dance at a wedding. I know you're eager to kick your pain to the curb, and you'll want to get started right away, wherever you're sitting, in a chair, on the couch, or even on the edge of your bed. And first, we can't waste another minute before I warn you about the 3 catastrophic mistakes you must stop making when it comes to your back. When back pain strikes, I see people do these 3 things all the time, and I even did them myself for years, not knowing they were only making me worse. Mistake number 1. Stretching the wrong muscles in the wrong ways. When we have pain, our body constantly sends us confusing signals. In fact, the area where we feel the pain is not always the area that is causing the pain. So people often think they need to stretch the sore area, when in fact stretching the sore muscle can make the pain worse in the long run. For example, when your shoulders are feeling tight and sore, your instincts probably tell you to stretch them out. But that is one of the worst things you can do. That's because the muscle that is making your shoulders hurt is actually on the front of your chest. So most people are baffled to realize that stretching your chest is the best way to relieve tight shoulders. But without this new information, you keep moving in ways that feel good today, but give you even more pain tomorrow. You can't rely on your body's signals. You need to know the precise sequence to relieving pain for good. On to mistake number 2, trying to combat back pain by strengthening your back muscles. People come to me all the time with back pain, and the most common thing they say is, "I think I need to strengthen my back." However, the vast majority of the time, back problems aren't caused by a weak back. They are the result of a weak core. When your core is weak, your low back has to strain and tense to do all of the work. So the last thing we want to do is to work it even more. If you want to avoid pain in your back, hips, and knees, and dramatically improve your posture and your health, the secret is in your core. And don't worry, you don't need six-pack Baywatch abs in order to help your back. Nobody has time to waste doing hundreds of crunches every day. And in fact, many of those standard outdated ab exercises are ineffective and dangerous for your back. You won't believe the cutting-edge, easy core-strengthening moves I have for you that can be done at any time, anywhere, even right now in your chair. But first, let's get to mistake number 3, resting your back. Many people think that if they have back pain, they should rest. But breakthrough medical research has now discovered that prolonged rest only makes your back more stiff and your muscles more weak. This weakness leads to longer recovery time, or even worse, further damage. Now, I'm not saying you should jump up and run a marathon, but with the right sequence of gentle movements, your body will bounce back much faster. And I am the living proof that this gentle technique can work. Because when I found myself almost paralyzed with pain, as a grown woman, there was no way I could move to do any kind of strenuous workout. I couldn't even go to the gym. If I had only known this 10-minute routine years, even just months earlier, I never would have come so close to almost losing everything. When I was 28, I found myself in front of a surgeon for the second time in my life. This time, no blood pouring from my body, no beeping machines, no panicked nurses rushing around to save me. Just a sterile room with a neon light and a deadpan doctor reading from my chart without an ounce of compassion. His words shocked me. "We need to get you in for surgery as soon as possible." I could barely believe it. I was so young and I thought I was so healthy. How could this be possible? As he kept talking, it only got worse. The surgery he suggested had no guarantee of helping, and there was even a risk that I might not make it. I asked him if there was an alternative that would be less invasive, but his answer was a definitive and uncaring no. When I got back to my apartment, my husband was waiting for me, but I couldn't bear to tell him the bad news. You see, the visit to the surgeon was my last-ditch effort. I had thrown my back out at work almost a year earlier, and I had barely been able to move since then. I even had to stop working full-time. I kept expecting the pain to go away, but it hung onto my back with a death grip. After months of chiropractic treatment, acupuncture, and even massage, there was no improvement. These time-consuming medical appointments were starting to put a real strain on my relationship with my husband. We had been hoping to save up money to buy our first house, but I had been out of work for months, and our savings account was plummeting while the doctor bills kept piling up. And the worst part was that our hopes to start a family had been put on hold because I could hardly take care of myself, let alone a baby. I was heartbroken. My husband tried to reassure me that everything was going to be okay, but I could tell he was getting nervous. I never told anyone this at the time, but I worried that someday he would get sick of having to take care of me, and perhaps he would leave. I was no longer the fit, energetic, happy woman that he had met when he agreed to spend the rest of his life with me. By now, it had been just over a year of lying on ice packs and skipping family vacations because long flights were just too painful. My husband was still by my side, but we didn't laugh together the way we used to, and I felt so guilty. I didn't want my pain to hold him back from living his life the way it was holding me back from mine. After the devastating news from the surgeon, I really hit rock bottom. Afraid of losing the husband and the life I loved, I was faced with only two options: risk my life on the operating table or live the rest of my life crippled by pain. Lying on the couch one night, eating ice cream out of the container and watching my 4th hour of TV reruns, I realized I was right back to where I started all those years ago, deeply depressed and ready to give up again. Now, I'm a little embarrassed to admit this because I'm not usually an angry person, but at this point, I got really pissed. I felt like I had been betrayed. I had spent years studying the human body and learning all the best techniques and form. I had done everything right according to the books, so why had my back still given out on me? Searching for answers to what went wrong, I grabbed all of my old fitness training manuals off the shelves and dove back into them. I covered the living room carpet with books and big, thick binders about yoga, Pilates, personal training, and group fitness, and I propped myself and my ice pack right in the middle. This time, I was reading them with a more critical eye, looking for the fault lines in the information. And what I discovered blew me away. As I reread each manual and compared them side by side, I realized two things. Number one, none of these methods were complete on their own. They either focused on too much strength or too much stretching, which only makes the body imbalanced and causes the fault lines to get worse. And number two, every single fitness style had exercises that were not only a waste of time, they were downright dangerous for the back. Even when done correctly, these exercises had been putting unnecessary strain on my back for years. But despite my frustration, I knew I was missing something. There was a reason why physical movement had relieved my pain all those years ago. I just hadn't quite figured out the missing piece to the puzzle for why it had let me down. I was desperate to get my life back again, and a voice inside me kept saying there has got to be a better way than surgery. Out of work, with nothing but time and nothing to lose, I spent the next year of my life relearning what I thought I knew about the human body. I consulted with chiropractors, physical therapists, massage therapists, other top trainers, and even brain researchers. This time, not as a patient, but as an investigator. I interviewed them, asked a million questions, and most importantly, I started reading between the lines for the missing links. Looking for clues to solve the mystery of my own pain, I took bits of information from each individual source and began piecing them together and using my own body as a test lab. Believe me, this was a very long and very frustrating process, one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I'll admit, there were times when I came so close to giving up and calling the surgeon. But one day, as I searched for the solution to my pain, it was like lightning struck. Through countless hours of investigation and trial and error, I stumbled upon the precise 10-minute sequence that changed everything. After a year's worth of searching and struggling, it finally clicked, and I was able to connect the dots into one simple but powerful equation. This life-changing routine was the key that unlocked my body's natural health and alignment, and for the first time in over a year, I was pain-free. At first, I couldn't believe it. I kept expecting to make one wrong move and be back where I started. But as time went on, I only felt better and better. And it wasn't just my back that was better. It was my whole life. I went from being a stressed-out control freak to feeling relaxed and at peace. I slept soundly through the night, rather than spending hours awake worrying. My nervous stomach calmed down, and I was able to toss the prescription meds I had taken for years for my acid reflux. And as my dark cloud of depression finally lifted, I started naturally making healthier eating choices. For the first time in my life, I really knew what it felt like to love my body. My friends and family couldn't believe it. After missing out on life for over a year, I was finally back. You can imagine the look on your loved one's face when they see you spring up from the couch and jump back to life. Not just following along and sitting on the sidelines at family parties and social functions, but heading up the conga line. You can understand why sharing this life-changing discovery with others became my passion. There is nothing more fulfilling than watching clients beam with happiness over how they too feel younger, stronger, happier, and more relaxed. You see, this program is about more than just back pain. It's about getting back to your life. Pain relief is just one of the incredible side effects, as well as improving overall health, posture, mobility, balance, stress relief, mood, and much more, not to mention toning your stomach, hips, and thighs in the process. All without pills, painful adjustments, crowded gyms, or pricey copays. It all starts with this amazing 10-minute back-to-life routine that you can do almost anywhere, even while sitting at your desk or your kitchen table, that unlocks your body's natural ability to come back into alignment and feel younger, stronger, and more flexible every day. But I have to warn you, if you're looking for a traditional exercise program that gets your body twisted up into all kinds of crazy human pretzel shapes or has you sweating up a storm, this is not the program for you. In fact, this is like nothing you have ever seen before. This system takes you through the unique, gentle movements in the precise scientific sequence to erase your body's fault lines and support a healthy spine, while relieving stress and toning your stomach, hips, and thighs. This simple sequence is the key to unlocking your body's strength, flexibility, and vitality by bringing it back into balance. Do not miss the chance to try this therapeutic method for yourself, because you won't find anything out there like it. And it doesn't matter where you're starting. This program can be done by almost anyone. Remember, it starts with the same surprising stretch and 10-minute routine that I started with when I could barely move. While this series is based on cutting-edge pain research, kinesiology, and exercise science, it is specifically designed to be easy and enjoyable for everyone. In fact, many of my clients say that doing this program is the best part of their day. And that's not all, because this 3-part video series continues to advance as you do, with additional routines that increase in level and in length, so you have all the tools you need to make sure your body never plateaus. No trainers necessary. You can imagine how free you will feel when you take your health and your body back into your own hands and realize you've got this. Listen, you don't deserve to be in pain. Please stop believing the lie that pain is just a part of getting older. With a complete back-to-life system, you can stop the source of your pain so you don't have to keep chasing your tail. I mean, sure, you could keep shelling out time and cash to chiropractors and massage therapists every week. You could go get another shot that will numb you up for months while your back keeps getting worse. You could even find some young trainer who doesn't understand your body to beat you up with exercises that wreak havoc on your joints. Or you can stop wasting your precious time and money on treatments that only address your symptoms without fixing the problem. Because even though you might find temporary relief, your body is still under attack from daily, repetitive trauma. So those hidden fault lines are only getting worse and worse. And the damage only gets harder to repair. Now is the time to take action. This unique program is so much easier than you would ever expect. You'll learn the most effective core strengthening moves that you can do anytime, without even breaking a sweat. You'll get the precise techniques that release tense, tight muscles and relieve pain immediately. And you're going to love the surprising stretch that can relieve sciatica without surgery. You can clearly see what makes the Back to Life system so unique and different. It gets right to the source of the problem, bringing support and balance back into your body, making you a well-oiled machine armed against future breakdowns. You can imagine what it will feel like to be able to play with your kids or grandkids again, return to the hobbies you once loved, or travel with your spouse, all without having to worry about the strain it might put on your back. Watch your body come back to life as you rediscover the energy of your youth. You'll experience the support of a strong, toned core and the tall, effortless posture that comes along with that. Every joint in your body will thank you for bringing stability back into your hips and spine, the foundation of your health. Once you enter your information, you will have instant access to the complete 3-part Back to Life video series on your computer, smartphone, or tablet. There's no need to wait for anything to be shipped, so you can get started in just minutes from now and have it at your fingertips anywhere you need. And that's not all. Today, for a limited time, I have a special gift for you. Because I know if you've been living in pain for a while, you might want to start with something especially soothing. So I am also including my Back to Life Yoga bedtime back relief video at no extra cost. This deeply therapeutic practice is perfect for the days when you need extra relief from achy, tense muscles. It's great to do these gentle and relaxing stretching moves at the end of a busy day or at any time you just need a break from pain and stress. Most people love to start with this video because it feels like having the same relaxing and soothing experience you would have in a massage therapist's office, right in your own home, at any time, without having to pay an arm and a leg. In fact, today doesn't cost you anything. You'll love treating yourself to this at-home spa experience whenever you want. We all know by now that stress is one of the biggest contributors to tight muscles and even disease, but you don't have to fall victim to it anymore. Because I have also created a special Back to Life guided meditation audio series with techniques that have been proven to help you release pain and stress immediately. This is critical to supporting your health and vitality, so it's important to me that this is included in your program today. That's why if you decide that you are ready to get back to life, I am including the guided meditation completely for free today through this video only. Go ahead and click the Add to Cart button below, and you will have instant access to not only the complete Back to Life 3-part video series, you're also getting the bedtime back relief video and the guided meditation for releasing pain at no extra cost. When I was creating the series, I was strongly advised by top industry experts that this program should be priced at $99.95. While this sounded high to me, I was reminded that that's still less than the cost of one training session. And it's nothing compared to the monthly costs of chiropractor appointments or prescription pain meds. And yes, I know people would happily pay that much money for relief. I certainly paid much more when I was in pain. But I also know, at that price, there are people who would be left out, and I can't bear the thought of leaving anyone in pain. So just like I said no to the profit-gouging fitness chains, I'm saying no to charging almost $100 for this program. This program saved me from losing the life I love. It has kept me healthy, happy, and pain-free for almost a decade now. And I truly believe that without it, I wouldn't be the mom that I am to my 2 beautiful boys. So I feel blessed to be able to share this amazing program with you. That's why today I am pricing this program as low as I possibly can, while still being able to keep this video going to continue to reach more people like you. In fact, your purchase today means that you too are paying it forward by allowing this information to stay up and running online for the next person in need. So I'm not even going to charge you half of the recommended price. Today, through this video only, you can have the complete Back to Life system, plus the 2 special bonus gifts for a one-time payment of only $37. That's right, for less than the cost of most copays, you can take your time, your health, and your body back into your own hands. You've probably tried every treatment, pill, or gizmo out there, and nothing has worked the way you hoped it would. I've been there, and I wish I could get back all of the time and money I wasted. That's why I feel very strongly about offering you the chance to try this system for 2 full months at absolutely no risk. So I'm backing my program with a 100% 60-day money-back guarantee. Keep it. Try it for a whole 60 days, and if you aren't happy, for any reason, you get your money back, no questions asked. You won't find a single personal trainer, doctor, or chiropractor who will offer you a guarantee like this. There is 0 risk to you. The only risk you have is if you leave this page without getting the tools you need to fix your fault lines and protect yourself from repetitive trauma. Life's precious moments pass by much too quickly, and there is no reason to let pain rob you of the joyful life you deserve. I know the high cost of the toll that pain has been taking on your life, and your relief and peace of mind are priceless. You don't have to wait another minute to start erasing those hidden fault lines, relieving those sore muscles, and ditching the stress. Picture it. In just a couple of minutes, you'll start learning the secret to taking your health back into your own hands and getting back to the life you love. Think of the comfort and security you will enjoy, knowing that you are taking steps to repair your body's fault lines while keeping it strong, mobile, and free now and into the future. And you don't have to just take it from me. Hear what you can expect from just a few more of the wonderful people who have experienced this program for themselves.
Hi, my name is Linda. I'm 55 years old. And one day I decided, I didn't like the stiffness I was feeling getting out of bed every day and getting out from the car. I just was so sore and my back was really aching me. So I thought, I need to do something about this. And a couple of my friends were attending Emily's programs, and I thought, wow, I want to do that. They seemed so excited about it. I went to her programs and I feel great. I have more energy. I'm not stiff anymore. My back is not killing me in the morning or when I get out of the car. And the benefits of feeling good inside and out are I get to play with my grandson. I'm on the floor running around with him. I keep up with him, which is awesome because he's 4. So her program has literally changed my life. I have a great outlook now on myself especially, which is great.
I'm Scott from Wolverine Lake. Several years ago, I had sciatica, lower back pain that shot down through my leg. That's when I met Emily. Through her program, I've been able to strengthen the core muscles, and I've had a healthy back ever since. One of the things I really like about Emily's program is that she breaks it down so that there's levels that are supporting beginners as well as advanced people so that you get a benefit out of every single exercise. With Emily, I've had a healthy back since.
Hi, I'm Barb Byrne. I've been using Emily's method for over 2.5 years. Prior to that, I exercised but had back pain carrying my grandchildren, doing yard work, even using my desktop computer for any length of time. With her method, I'm able to do those things that I love. And I really appreciate that she teaches strategies so that each person can do a pose or move within their level of comfort and flexibility.
We're almost at the end of this video, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the other side. But first, before we go, if you have questions, here are some answers for you. Question: what if I'm weak or not very flexible? Don't worry. Every move in this program is meant to work for different bodies. You will have different levels and modifications to work with. This isn't some crazy, twisty, sweaty workout program. This is the therapeutic method that toned my body and stopped my back pain when I could barely even move. Question: does this work for both men and women? Yes, especially men and women over the age of 40. Both will experience the toning and strengthening results in the abs, but women do tend to notice a slightly more dramatic toning effect in the hip and thigh areas. Question: I'm over 60. Will I still be able to do this program? Absolutely. Each phase of the program has multiple levels and modifications, so it doesn't matter how old you are or what kind of shape you are in. You will experience benefits at any age. Question: what if I try this and it doesn't work for me? I am so confident that you will see and feel fast results from this program that I will personally refund 100% of your payment for a full 60 days after your purchase. Question: how long will this program be available for purchase? That's the hard part. I've been given the chance to reach you with this limited time offer, but it won't be online forever. The best way to guarantee your access is to click below and secure your copy of the program, completely risk-free for 60 days. Now, before I sign off, I want to let you know that once you purchase Back to Life, I will be with you every step of the way, guiding you through each movement and helping you get the most out of the program. There's nothing I love more than working with people so that no one has to go through what I went through. I look forward to hearing from you about your experience as you unlock your body's natural health and uncap the energy, vitality, and strength that it's capable of.